Alright folks, welcome to this week's Forex commentary and market review. Here's the dollar index and this is weekly time frame. So apparently this video will drop much later because I'm even recording very late today. I traveled and I spent my weekend away from home with friends, right? So so I just got back and I'm settling in my house. But I still need to record for YouTube, right? So this is dollar index on the weekly time frame, and one of the things I'll say quickly is the fact that price action hasn't been favorable to me. I mean, I've had a losing month and I'm willing to close this month in a loss while I look forward to the next trading month, apparently, because price action has been very tricky, and honestly, truthfully, my trading frequency has reduced drastically, and still yet it doesn't, the result is not changing because just look at the line this week or the past week. We looked at the previous weekly candle, and we saw the fact that the line has the interest to run into buy side here, which is beyond reasonable doubt. And from last week's commentary, I talked about the fact that this is resistance, and ideally, you want to see the market, trade above this old level of resistance before we confirm buyers to take out, buy side liquidity here. And we looked at the daily time frame and said because of DXY's expansion from last week Friday, if DXY wants to maintain, its one-sidedness on the weekly time frame, they were likely going to utilize this Friday's candle to run into buy side. But the week obviously started with the bearish dollar index. I mean, this is a recap, of course. It started with the bearish DXY, which makes sense for the fact that you're respecting this resistance after taking buy side liquidity here. I mean, I made mention of the fact that it's very likely they return into the range last week because they took out buy side. I mean, it's currencies. It's something currencies will always do. And they returned into the range, traded into this fair value gap here, but not the volume imbalance, and they traded higher and confirming the change in the stating delivery on the 4-hour time frame. And that's what I engaged. Okay, and when I returned back to the chart later in the day, I saw the long list was bearish. That was on Thursday, and I was completely disappointed on the trade. Wondering why exactly this will happen. So at the close of Thursday's trading, I was looking at the chart and see that, or saw that the market had closed below this volume balance, inverting this gap. Although you can make arguments and say, okay, they completely rebalance this inefficiency, and that leaves this open as a possibility that markets actually trade into the breakaway gap. Now, the analysis last week was, since they left open a breakaway gap, we do not want to see them return back. So to see the markets are now in consolidation and having closed below this volume imbalance, and we have a bearish order block after market took out buy side liquidity here, it makes this breakaway gap is suspect. So now there's a chance we see the markets trade into sell side here, or the market continues. But I think currently, with how the market closed on Friday, how the markets are rejecting off of this bearish order block, we are likely to see the longest trade into sell side. Now the previously that was on Thursday's closure, after Thursday settlement price, we saw that they are currently below this imbalance and they trade into resistance. So I'm thinking that, say Monday New York session, say if we are still below this volume imbalance on the 4-hour time frame, I think that would be a great setup to target sell side liquidity here and relatively close. Ideally, after the breakaway gap, I wasn't expecting the markets to return here. I was thinking the markets were just going to run for buy side, but the markets are actually very, very uninteresting these days. Okay, and it's not fashionable being a technical analyst these days because markets are in consolidation. A couple days expansion with very crazy price action. I mean, they give you mixed signals. The reason why I couldn't buy dollar index this week is simply because they didn't trade into this gap. And now to engage this week thinking, oh, you guys are likely going to leave this volume imbalance as a breakaway gap the same way you left this as a breakaway gap, and taking a loss on this trade is actually very annoying. Okay, it's very, very annoying because price action is just crazy. It's actually crazy, and there's absolutely nothing I can actually do except if I stay away from trading, or probably maybe day trade and not having to look at long-term buys, because it's currently not, it's actually doing a huge disservice to my equity call. And because of that, I told the Discord members, because of March's performance, that every active member for March is going to be having April free of charge, because it's always about the value for me. All right, I like to give value for my service, and I really feel like I haven't really done enough, even if I could unassume responsibility for everything that's happened. But I like to take charge for my situations. I mean, that's how I got here, right? So so on dollar index, there's a chance it's very two-sided this week, because we could see them rally in continuation, or you know trade into the sell side. So we're gonna allow for time to validate our bias. Okay, we need to see what the Asian range is gonna do. We need to see what London session is gonna do, and then we can make inference. We can infer from the data from Asia and London session, and determine the drawn liquidity for New York session Monday. Say, I don't know what Monday is going to be like. Probably we do not get anything serious in Asia and London. Then we're likely to look at Tuesday's trading to see if the market has any interest in sell side. Because while we are bullish on dollar index on the high time frame, monthly time frame clearly bullish. Okay, there's a clear drawn liquidity, which is this imbalance here. We don't know how the markets are going to trade. So that's the issue. We don't know if the markets are going to return into a discount here, or they are still going to respect this breaker. Okay, and how we're going to confirm that they are respecting this breaker is if we can see a candle close above this last down close candle. Okay, so there's a change in the state in the daily time frame. So next week opens, they probably take out Friday's low, expand, and there's a daily order block, so they are unlikely to trade into this breakaway gap. So that's basically it for dollar index and euro. We still have our clear sell side objective on 3 months time frame. Okay, this fair value gap here, and on the weekly time frame now we have this fair value gap here. There's a breaker here, but if these folks have been in consolidation, I mean next week we could see them return into this premium here, because whatever happened last week's consolidation, we have a clear drawn liquidity here, and we have a clear market structure shift for sell side. So we'll see if they have an interest here. And if you look at daily time frame, you can see Euro USD on Thursday closed above this gap, inverting this gap, creating a level for support to trade into buy side here, and potentially this inefficiency here. So that's primarily what I'm looking out for as the first trade of next week. Okay, saying if we can be bullish on euro. So if there's any interest to reach for buy side, we're gonna get in on the setup and target buy side liquidity and wait and see confirm market structure and everything to return back into the 3 month fair value gap, because there's a drawn liquidity, and every run above any short-term high, it allows for a potential to soup into our long-term objectives. So this one is going to be a quick commentary just to discuss how what I did last week, which I only traded once and it was a loss, and you know and talk about what I'm looking out for this week, the two-sidedness on markets, and how we can adjust to price action. So I hope you found this one insightful. Until I talk to you again, be safe.